Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time, we're going to be looking at AI-generated content.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere these days.
It really is.
Text, music, images, videos, you name it. AI is getting really good at creating it. It's amazing. But
Yeah,
it also raises some pretty big questions about trust and misinformation.
for sure.
How can we tell what's real and what's synthetic when AI is getting so good at mimicking us humans?
That's the challenge, isn't it? I mean, this incredible technology brings a need for new tools and approaches to ensure trust and transparency in a digital landscape that's increasingly being shaped by AI.
Absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
We've got some fascinating material to dive into today. A research paper straight from the journal Nature and some insights from Google DeepMind's own blog,
Excellent sources.
all about this new technology called SynthID. Think of it like a digital detective for anything created by AI.
It's really cutting-edge stuff, and at the heart of SynthID is this concept of watermarking, which essentially means embedding an invisible mark within the content itself.
Okay.
It's a way of subtly signaling, hey, this was made by AI.
So let's take a step back for a second and make sure we're all on the same page.
Sure.
Can you paint me a picture of the problem SynthID is trying to solve?
Okay.
Why is it so important to be able to tell what's been created by AI?
Well, imagine for a moment that AI, specifically these powerful systems called LLMs, become so sophisticated
Right.
that they can create works of art that are indistinguishable from human creations.
Wow.
Think poetry that moves you to tears, music that tops the charts, or even videos that could rewrite history.
Now that's both exciting and a little bit scary.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen examples of AI-generated content fooling experts.
It's true.
That Nature paper mentioned how this technology could have a massive impact on education, too.
Absolutely. Think
Yeah.
about it. Students could potentially turn in AI-written essays, and teachers might not even be able to tell the difference. Or imagine a world where online information is flooded with synthetic content, making it incredibly difficult to know what to believe anymore.
That's a pretty unsettling thought.
It is.
So it sounds like the problem SynthID is tackling is about way more than just figuring out if a piece of content was made by a computer.
Yeah.
It's about preserving trust and authenticity in a world where the lines between human and AI creation are becoming increasingly blurred.
That's precisely it. And without tools like SynthID, we risk losing our grip on what's real and what's not,
Yeah.
which could have profound consequences for everything from education and journalism to our shared source of reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're facing this tidal wave of AI content, and it's becoming harder and harder to tell what's human and what's machine-made.
Yeah, it's a real challenge.
But SynthID steps in to help us navigate these murky waters. Yeah.
Exactly. SynthID offers a way to see beneath the surface, to identify the origins of the content we encounter online.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me more about how this digital detective actually works. What's the secret sauce behind this watermarking technology?
Well, unlike some older watermarking methods that might affect the quality of the content, SynthID is designed to be both imperceptible to us and easily detectable by algorithms.
Hold on a second. Imperceptible to humans, but computers can spot it. How does that even work?
It's all about subtle manipulation for text. SynthID ever so slightly adjusts the probabilities of specific words being selected as the AI writes.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like this. The AI might be about to write, "My favorite tropical fruits are blank."
Right.
SynthID might nudge it to choose mango instead of pineapple, creating a tiny signal that's meaningless to us but significant to the detection algorithm.
So it's like weaving a secret code into the very fabric of the text.
That's a great way to put it. And the beauty of it is that it doesn't change the meaning or the quality of the text for us humans, but for a computer equipped with the right tools, that subtle shift in word choice is like a flashing neon sign saying, AI was here.
Wow, that's incredible. But what about other types of content like music or videos? Does it work the same way?
The fundamental idea is the same, but the implementation is tailored to the specific medium for music. Imagine the watermark being subtly woven into the audio's frequency spectrum.
Okay.
We wouldn't hear any difference, but an algorithm could analyze those frequencies and detect the signature of SynthID. And for images and videos, the watermark is embedded directly into the pixels.
So no matter how you try to alter the image or the video, cropping it, adding filters, compressing it, that watermark remains. It's like a digital fingerprint that can't be erased.
You got it. And that resilience is one of the key features that sets SynthID apart.
Okay, so let's say I'm browsing online and come across a piece of content, an article, a song, whatever.
Right.
How would I actually use SynthID 2 to check if it's been AI generated?
DeepMind has developed a separate tool that can scan content and look for the SynthID watermark if it's there. It's been created by an AI.
That makes sense. So SynthID provides the tools to both embed these watermarks and then detect them later on. But what makes this approach better than other watermarking methods? There must be other ways to mark AI content right.
There are, but SynthID has several advantages. We've already talked about how it preserves the quality of the content and how resilient it is to manipulation. But another key factor is its scalability.
Scalability, what does that mean in this context?
It means SynthID can be applied to vast amounts of content, and this isn't just some theoretical idea. It's already being implemented in the real world. Google has integrated SynthID into its Gemini chatbot, and they're using it in some of their image and video creation tools as well. In fact, they conducted a massive real-world test with Gemini where millions of user responses were generated both with and without watermarks. And you know what? The feedback from users was virtually identical.
So SynthID is out there working behind the scenes, and it's not impacting the user experience at all. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. But let's be real here. No system is perfect.
Right.
What are some of the limitations of SynthID? What are the potential challenges?
You're right. No technology is foolproof. One key thing to remember is that SynthID relies on people using it responsibly.
Right.
It's not some magical force field that automatically watermarks every piece of AI-generated content out there. If someone creating AI content chooses not to use SynthID, the system won't be able to detect it.
So it's sort of like an honor system, hoping that creators of AI content will do the right thing and watermark their work.
Well, it's more about establishing norms and best practices. It's similar to how we develop standards for things like copyright and attribution online. It takes time, and it requires collaboration across the tech industry, policymakers, and content creators.
I see. So we need a collective effort to make watermarking a standard practice. Are there any other challenges we should be thinking about?
One tricky area is the world of open source AI models. These are models that anyone can download and modify, which makes it much harder to enforce any kind of watermarking standard. And of course, there's the constant evolution of technology to consider. As SynthID gets better at watermarking, people will try to find new ways to circumvent it, to remove or obscure those watermarks. It's an ongoing arms race.
So it sounds like SynthID is a powerful tool, but it's just one piece of a larger puzzle we need to keep developing new approaches, adapting to new challenges, and working together to create a digital landscape where we can trust the content we encounter.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be thinking about these issues, and the solutions we develop today will shape the future of AI and its role in our lives.
So we've explored how SynthID works, its strengths, its limitations. But I keep coming back to this question, what does all of this actually mean for us, the everyday people, navigating this increasingly AI-driven world?
Well, it's a huge question, and I think one of the most important takeaways is that SynthID gives us a way to take back some control. It empowers us to make more informed decisions about the information we consume.
Right.
It's like having a built-in radar system for the digital age,
Okay.
helping us navigate a landscape where AI-generated content is becoming more and more common.
I love that analogy, a radar system for the digital age. It really highlights the importance of being able to distinguish between human and AI creations.
Right.
But it also makes you think about the bigger picture, right? How will watermarking technology like SynthID shape the future of AI?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think we're just beginning to see the potential impact as AI becomes more deeply integrated into our lives. Imagine a future where news articles, research papers, even social media posts
Wow.
all carry these invisible markers signaling their origins. It could fundamentally change how we evaluate information, how we trust sources, and even how we define creativity itself.
It's almost like a new layer of reality is being woven into the digital world, a hidden dimension that's only visible to those with the right tools.
It is.
And that raises some really interesting questions, doesn't it? What happens when these tools become more widely available? Who gets to decide how they're used?
Yeah.
And what are the ethical implications of being able to track and trace the origins of digital content?
Those are all incredibly important questions, and there's no easy answers. But one thing is clear. We're entering a new era where transparency and accountability will be more critical than ever before.
Right.
As AI continues to evolve, we'll need to keep developing new tools and frameworks to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically.
It's a lot to think about, and it feels like we're just scratching the surface here. But that's what makes these deep dives so fascinating, right? We get to explore these complex issues together to learn from each other and to grapple with the big questions that will shape our future.
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing is to keep the conversation going, to stay curious, to ask critical questions, and to engage with these issues in a thoughtful and informed way.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to leave you with a final thought to ponder. As AI-generated content becomes more prevalent, how do you envision watermarking technology shaping our world? What other solutions or safeguards might we need? We encourage you to dive deeper, explore these questions, and be a part of shaping this exciting new frontier. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.